communities because I am there with you. I wake up with you. I put you to bed, some of you, and I'm out there with you every day. I hear your cries, and I know when my people have been neglected. And you know, for a long time I don't call people name, but tonight I will call somebody name.
Country needs leadership with integrity. The country needs leadership that the people can have trust and confidence in. We need a prime minister whose integrity commission statutory declarations can be certified and published in accordance with law. We have not put any ban or gag order on any of our MPs or senators talking about integrity commission issues.
Everyone, now I hope you're doing fine. Now, the opposition being led by Mark Golding and Natalia Neita have called the Prime Minister into order, and they think it is high time he steps down as the Prime Minister because there are so many things happening in Jamaica that the Prime Minister has not addressed. The matter of corruption, high rate of corruption, embezzlement of resources, and so many others that they have termed to be associated with the people that are around the Prime Minister, and high unemployment rate. So let's watch this video, come back and give a quick discussion about the same. Let's see where is the government going wrong and why are so many Jamaicans calling the the Prime Minister to order or to step down so that another election be held and someone else may take the mantle. Thank you so much.
You know, which is ridiculous. I never asked for what I got, and I have decided to keep only 20% of the increase. He's the one who has given me that pay increase. Him. So how can he be complaining about the size of it? And as I said, in due course, he will be in my position and earning it. So he should be careful what he says.
I watched an assault on democracy take place in our parliament. I ought not to have been surprised, because this government is always in a fight with the Constitution. Indeed, the tendency manifested itself from Andrew Holness was leader of the opposition when he sought to utilize pre-signed, undated letters of resignation to remove 2 of his senators. Of course, as you all know, he was the first Prime Minister to consider placing a Chief Justice on probation, thereby revealing that he does not understand how our parliamentary system is established and the critical decision to have the separation of powers embedded in our parliamentary procedure and in our constitution. And I could go on and on. The leader of the party has already referenced the states of emergency and the way in which it has been abused by the government, who has chosen to use it as a crime-fighting tool. But yesterday, Section 96(1) of the Constitution, this supreme law, this Constitution which when we are sworn into Parliament we all swear to uphold, that was not demonstrated in the Parliament. You see, under Section 96(1), the section which was amended yesterday, when the extension of the tenure of the DPP is being considered, the Governor General, on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, has to consult with the Leader of the Opposition. And it is after that consultation, which must be done before the DPP reaches the age of 60, After that consultation, the extension is granted. So historically, in 2020, the Director of Public Prosecutions turned 60, and quite appropriately, she applied for an extension. She applied for an extension of 5 years, and after the requisite consultation, an extension of 3 years was granted. Now, yesterday, the Minister of Justice, in a very scant address to the opening remark to the Parliament, explained to the country that this amendment was being brought to the Parliament because of an amendment to the Pensions Act of 2017. He tried to assume responsibility for this amendment, saying that it was intended really that the Ministry of Finance would do it, and seemed to have said that it was because of his diligence why he was bringing it to Parliament himself. But I say this: if you are the Minister of Justice, you have a greater responsibility than any other member of Parliament or member of Cabinet to lead by example in the way that you do matters, the way that you bring these matters to the Parliament. The opposition was not consulted on this matter. The opposition was not notified except a few hours prior to the convening of Parliament. And in this way, the Minister of Justice and the government demonstrated a level of authoritarian arrogance, which we have come to see as a part of their modus operandi and a reflection of how they see their role as against the people of this country. More and more, you hear about mandatory sentencing, mandatory wills, mandatory DNA. And this government is determined to impose itself into every aspect of the life of these people. And that was manifested yesterday when they attempted to change the law to do a constitutional amendment without any consultation at all with the opposition. And let me tell you why it's so significant. The powers of the DPP are vast. The Director of Public Prosecutions can institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court other than a court-martial in respect of any offense against the law of Jamaica. The DPP can take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that may have been instituted by any other person or authority. And most significantly, the DPP can discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority. So these are the kinds of powers that a DPP has. And in the context, as the leader said, of events which we imagine are going to unfurl before the country, one has to wonder why the matter has been approached in this manner. You see, the Pensions Amendment Act was in 2017. The first application for an extension was in 2020. There was the opportunity to have implemented the requirements of the Pensions Act, and we could have engaged in a discussion, the opposition and the government, and we could have then dealt with the extension to bring it in line to what was happening with other public officers. That was not done. 2017 to 2023 is 6 years. There has been no discussion about this extension. The Constitutional Reform Committee was established in March 2023 and has been very active, meeting sometimes twice for the week, has been engaging persons, the citizenry, in a discussion on the road hearing their views as to how the Constitution should be reformed, what sort of Constitution they would like to see in Jamaica. This was never put before the Constitutional Committee. So then, it is reasonable for one to ask, what is it that would lead the government to take a decision that at the very last sitting of the Parliament, without any discussion with the opposition, without any consultation, without any discourse, without placing it before the Constitutional Reform Committee, why was it so urgent that it be done now? The Director of Public Prosecutions is expected to demit office on September 20, 2023, which is when the 3 years would come to an end. Is that why? Is this a specific action on the part of the government to ensure that the Director of Public Prosecution remains in place? And if so, what must the country interpret this as being? Because surely there must be competent attorneys in the office. Surely the assurance which was given in 2020 by the government that a succession plan would have been put in place, they must have kept their word. So what is the urgency why this matter has been brought to the Parliament at this stage and in this manner? Let me be clear. The opposition would have welcomed an opportunity to have discussed the matter with the government. We believe and we uphold the tenets of good governance. Our desire is to always ensure that the public retain and maintain a comfort and confidence in certain offices, significant and important offices in this country. And we would have liked to have participated in an analysis. Say, for example, we could have advanced the view that these offices should now have fixed terms, that is the way in which the world was moving. We could have said that, yes, there we have no objection. And imagine what the country would have seen if the government and the opposition had gone to the Parliament with a united view. You know, Minister Chuck said in an interview on which I was on this morning that if they want to agree, they agree, and who want to disagree, disagree. I am mortified that this is a view that he takes of our democracy. And it makes me wonder if this country is indeed in safe hands, or if the ship is being steered by those who have utter contempt for the people. Because when you dismiss the opposition like that, and you say they agree, they disagree, they disagree, what you're really telling the country is that their views do not count, that it does not matter how they perceive of things, because the government is going to do whatever it wants. And I have to ask those of you who are listening, is this what you want? Is this how you want to see the government function? Is it how you want to see your nation?
Many people have something to say when it comes to politics, and we all know politics might be a dirty game at some point. People might come into politics with a lot of expectations, maybe to deliver to the people. Then it turns out to be not whatever they thought, because after have been given power by the people, after being elected into the positions they have by the people, they tend to literally change from whoever the people expected them to be to whoever they were never expected to be. Now, these are some of the things that make the Jamaicans people or the common citizens in many other countries to call out their government and say they are so incompetent and they should step down. It's not the first time you are hearing about a high member of parliament or a leader in a bigger position as that of a prime minister or a president is being called to step down because some people feel like the work or the job that was given by him, that was given to him by the people, is overwhelming him, or it is high that he or she can't manage the country or run the country properly. Now, this is not the first time you might have seen such scenes. Now, this is a video about many Jamaicans who have come out in their large numbers to say, no, we are going through a lot and we need changes. We've been crying for changes for a long time, and it's time our Prime Minister do something. And if he's so incapable of doing that, and we are paying the taxes, it is time for another person who can do the same job to be elected in the same position. Many Jamaicans have been calling the Prime Minister to call out elections so that they may elect other leaders. Now, something that it's not adding up well is, should he call up the elections, or is it a constitutional mandate for the Prime Minister to call elections, or is it written somewhere in the Jamaican constitution that elections should be done at a given interval, and when that time reaches, it is time for whoever is in power to come out and let the EOJ, I mean the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, or the Electoral of Jamaica, to do its work. Now, many people might come out to maybe say some things about politics in Jamaica and any other parts of this world, but there are so many factors that might lead to this. Now, there are so many factors that may make a government not deliver, and these factors include corruption. These factors include embezzlement of resources. These factors include incompetence of some leaders who are entrusted by the Prime Minister of Jamaica to other positions. These might ruin or might paint a bad picture of the Prime Minister's administration. Sometimes it's not whoever we elect in the topmost seat. It is whoever that person, the Prime Minister or the President, appoints to help him govern the country. Now, these people have always, and some actually have always let the government down, because they come with greed. They come with feeling entitled because they were not elected by the people. So they do not feel like there is that much transparency that the people need from them, because they have been entrusted by someone else. And now, this is not different, because it's happening in Jamaica, happening in Africa, happening in the Caribbean, and so many other countries. But the only solution is the Prime Minister who was elected should be called to order. He is the person responsible to govern the country, because he is the person who was elected directly by the people, and those who are appointed by him are just subjects, are his subjects. And what happens when people are your subjects? You can treat them like you can hire and fire them. So it is his mandate to see and to stop the insecurity, the corruption, and the high rate of unemployment. Create some jobs for the youths so that they may not find time to rant around or commit more crime. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you find it more resonating, please do not hesitate to subscribe. I love you all. One love Jamaica, one love America, one love Canada, one love UK, one love Africa, one love this earth planet. Salute.